Hey everyone, welcome back to Midnight Recaps. Imagine checking into a luxury hotel, only to discover that everyone inside has been alive for over 100 years. And the only way they can stay immortal is by sacrificing you. Tonight's nightmare is They Will Kill You 2026. The movie begins with a young woman named Asia Reeves and her little sister, Maria, trying to escape from their abusive father. The two girls run into a nearby store, hoping they can hide long enough to get away. Unfortunately, their father manages to track them down and starts chasing them. One of the men with him tries to stop the sisters from escaping, but Asia pulls out a gun and shoots her father in the chest. Although he survives the gunshot, everything changes after that moment. Asia manages to escape, but she is eventually arrested and sent to prison. Maria, on the other hand, has no choice but to return to their father's custody, separating the two sisters for years. 10 years later, Asia is finally released from prison and is determined to start over. Using the fake name Isabel, she gets a job at an old Manhattan hotel known as the Virgil. Soon after arriving, she meets the hotel's superintendent, Lilith Woodhouse, along with Lilith's unhappy husband, Ray. She also comes across several of the hotel's wealthy and unusual residents, including Sharon Vanderbilt, the CEO of a beauty company. Asia also learns that the Virgil has been standing for well over 100 years. During her first night at the hotel, Asia hears strange noises coming from the hallway. Curious, she steps outside to investigate, but suddenly all the lights go out. Feeling that something isn't right, she quickly returns to her room and locks the door. Not long afterward, a man wearing a pig mask named Bob secretly enters her room and attempts to drug her. Asia wakes up before he can finish the job and fights back. During the struggle, Bob is knocked unconscious after smashing his head against a table. Before Asia can catch her breath, she hears more people entering the room. Sharon Vanderbilt, Kevin Sullivan, and two other men have all arrived with the same goal of killing her. Thinking quickly, Asia pretends to be unconscious. When Sharon grabs her legs, Asia bites into an exposed lamp wire, causing an electric shock that injures both of them. Using the distraction, Asia rushes into a nearby closet where she kept her weapons, including a machete and a shotgun. She immediately uses them to defend herself. Kevin is decapitated, and after a brutal fight, Asia manages to kill Sharon and the other attackers as well. After surviving the attack, Asia steps out into the hallway, where Lilith confronts her. Lilith reveals that she already knows Asia isn't really the woman named Isabel and demands to know why she came to the Virgil. Asia finally tells her story. After being released from prison, she hired a private investigator to help locate her younger sister, Maria. The investigator eventually discovered that Maria was working as a maid at the Virgil. Wanting to reunite with her, Asia intercepted the real Isabel and assumed her identity so she could take the job and secretly enter the hotel. Just when it seems the danger is over, something impossible happens. Kevin, Sharon, Bob, and the other people Asia killed begin coming back to life. Their injuries heal almost instantly, and they stand back up as if nothing had happened. Lilith calmly explains that everyone living at the Virgil is immortal. The group immediately starts chasing Asia again, forcing her to escape through the building's ventilation system. Sharon follows her into the vents, but Asia fights back once more. This time, she repeatedly stabs Sharon before finally using a shotgun to completely blow her head off. Even that isn't enough to stop Sharon. Her severed head remains alive and aware, while one of her eyeballs rolls away to spy on Asia. After gathering information, Sharon realizes that Asia is heading toward a part of the hotel known as the fuck floor. While trying to escape, Asia is eventually caught by Ray. Unlike the others, Ray no longer enjoys living forever and has grown tired of everything Lilith and the other residents have done over the years. He finally reveals the truth about the Virgil. The hotel is actually home to a satanic cult that was granted immortality in exchange for regularly offering human sacrifices. Everyone whose name appears on a special list can continue living forever. However, if anyone fails Satan, their name is removed from the list, causing them to lose their immortality and become mortal once again. Ray also explains that almost every part of the hotel has been designed as a deadly trap, making escape nearly impossible. According to him, the only real way out of the Virgil is by reaching the building's fire escape. Ray secretly leads Asia to the room where Maria has been locked away. The reunion between the two sisters is emotional, but Maria isn't happy to see her. She believes Asia abandoned her all those years ago and left her alone with their abusive father. Over the years, Maria has learned everything about the cult operating inside the Virgil and has convinced herself that becoming one of them is the only way to survive. She even hopes to earn a place on the immortality list. When Maria refuses to leave with her, Asia has no other choice. She knocks her unconscious with a single punch and places her inside a dumbwaiter, hoping to smuggle her out of the hotel without anyone noticing. As Asia escapes with Maria, Ray stays behind to slow the cult members down, allowing Lilith and the others to capture him so Asia has a chance to get away. Asia eventually reaches the hotel's kitchen with Maria. There, one of the cult members attacks her. The man is much stronger than Asia and quickly overpowers her. Just as he's about to kill her, Maria grabs an axe and smashes it into the back of his head, saving Asia's life. Maria then tells Asia to leave while she still has the chance. She knows her sister is trying to make things right, but she still hasn't forgiven her for leaving all those years ago. Even so, Asia refuses to abandon Maria a second time and insists they escape together. Meanwhile, Lilith orders every member of the cult throughout the hotel to hunt the sisters down. To fight her way through them, Asia lights an axe on fire and uses it to cut through anyone standing in her way. The sisters eventually make their way into an elevator shaft, hoping to climb up to the building's fire escape. Maria finally opens up about everything that happened after Asia went to prison. She reveals that their father eventually died from cancer. Asia apologizes for leaving her behind, admitting that she's carried the guilt with her ever since. Before they can escape, the cult members catch up to them once again. One of the hotel maids briefly dies while trying to catch the sisters. Despite their efforts, Asia and Maria are eventually captured and brought before Lilith. Lilith takes both sisters to the top floor, where Ray is being held prisoner. The cult then begins a ritual to summon Satan. Instead of appearing in person, Satan speaks through a severed pig's head, which also contains the magical list of everyone granted immortality. As punishment for betraying the cult, Satan removes Ray's name from the list. With his immortality gone, Lilith immediately slashes his throat, killing him for good. The cult then announces that Maria must sacrifice Asia. Since the real Isabel was originally meant to be the night's victim, killing Asia would allow Maria to earn immortality and officially join the cult. Instead, Maria chooses a different path. She writes Asia's name onto the pig's head before cutting her own throat. A final battle immediately breaks out. Before facing the cult, Asia cuts away the piece of skin where her own name had been written. She then fights Kevin, Sharon, and the remaining cult members, defeating them one by one. In the middle of the fight, Lilith merges with the pig's head, transforming into an even more dangerous opponent. The two engage in a brutal final showdown that ends with Asia ripping the pig's head away from Lilith while Lilith is impaled on a large wooden beam. With the pig's head separated, Asia pours bleach over it and sets it on fire. As the flames spread, every name written on the immortality list is destroyed. Without the list, all of the cult members lose their immortality, making every injury and death permanent. Asia then throws the burning pig's head down the elevator shaft. It lands below, kills the maid, and explodes on impact, destroying the source of the cult's power. After everything is over, Asia picks up Maria's body and orders the remaining residents of the Virgil to run before the entire place comes crashing down. Outside the hotel, Asia reunites with the private investigator who originally helped her find Maria. Together, they place Maria's body into his car. Just when it seems all hope is lost, Maria suddenly opens her eyes and comes back to life. Before the ritual ended, Asia had secretly written Maria's name over her own, allowing Maria to inherit immortality instead. The private investigator drives the two sisters away from the city as they finally leave their nightmare behind. Moments later, the top floor of the Virgil explodes, bringing the cult's headquarters to a fiery end. That's the end of tonight's recap. What did you think of this movie? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. If you're craving another terrifying story, tap the video on your screen right now. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one.